Mending Wall is perhaps one of the most widely quoted poems of Frost. It was included in North of Boston, published in 1914. The most striking aspect of Mending Wall is its thought content. Now let's move towards its text, and before moving ahead I would like to ask you people to subscribe my channel and visit my channel to see the magic of literature. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps, I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made. But at spring mending time we find them there. Look at the first line. The very first word of the poem is suggestive for the kind and benevolent nature which does not like to build walls. Mother Nature herself builds frozen ground and then melts those frozen boulders under sun. Here hunters are referred to persons who are not confined to boundaries, hence walls. It is almost like the earth is shrugging the wall off of a surface. This causes a lot of damage to the rocks, creating gaps. Frost and his neighbor go out to repair. In line number 5 and 6, Frost refers to the damage done to the wall by hunters that he and his neighbor has to repair. In the next lines, Frost says that the hunter, in order to help the dogs get at the rabbits who have hid themselves in the gaps in the wall, pull the stones apart. These gaps seem to so mysteriously, and these gaps so mysteriously appear that no one has ever seen them made or heard them made. But every year he and his neighbor walk to the fence and find them. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go to each the boulders that have fallen to each, and some are loaves and some so nearly balls. We have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. These lines are really very symbolic. As in every poem of Frost, we can find a lot of symbolism. Same is the case here in the Mending Wall. As the poets say, we keep the wall between us as we go. It means both the poet and his neighbor invisible wall between both of them. Both of them deal with whatever rocks have fallen off the wall on either side. Some of them look like loaves of bread and some are round like balls. So they try to balance on top of the wall, saying, "Stay where you are until our backs turned." Both the poet and the neighbor try to repair the wall which is made of stones, but they don't ever try to break the wall, to mend the wall which is between both of them. We We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game. One on a side. It comes to little more. There where it is we do not need the wall. He is all pine and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines. I tell him, he only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is a mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. In these lines, poet tries to tell his neighbor that there is no need of walls. The pine trees would not be eaten by poet's apple trees. So, is there any need of wall? But he promptly responds, good fences are necessary to have good neighbors. While mending the wall, their hands get rough and weary. Since it's spring and poet feels mischievous to make his neighbor ask himself why these walls are necessary. Isn't that only true if you are trying to keep your neighbors' cows out of your fields? But there aren't any cows here. Basically, wall is the symbol of artificial barrier. It stands for hatred and prejudice. Wall is also a symbol of preventing growth of brotherly feelings and communication. Now let's move ahead towards the end of the poem. Before I built a wall, I would ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. This is a very important line, please underline it. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I would rather he said it for himself. I see him there bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand, like an old stone savage armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me. Not of woods only and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. I think all of us can observe that the younger man or the poet has much more flexibility than his former neighbor. The older man, the farmer, is a traditionalist and is not at all prepared to change his views. He represents the orthodox society. He goes on repeating his traditional version of good fences contribute to the betterment of the relationships amongst neighbors. The poet really wants to ask a question. After all, why are we mending wall? But he could not, as he sees his neighbor bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand. He sees his neighbor moving into darkness, which is definitely darkness of ignorance. Poet surely could propose that elves are responsible for the gaps in the wall, but it's not exactly the elves. Elves are actually present in our own hearts. Poet does not present any solution of dilemma of modern man, whether we should build walls or not. The poem actually leads us to make a choice. Which of the two is right, the speaker or his Yankee neighbor? Do tell me in the comment box. I will definitely come up with a new video of Frost in Frost series. Keep supporting, keep watching my channel. Thank you so much.